on your show and bring something. I don't like to come empty-handed because that's what jokers do. I've been working the phones this afternoon about what's going on with the transports. And rather astounding. But in the last 4 weeks, spot trucking rates have fallen as much as 35%. There's another big decline just this week. The drivers are back. There's too many drivers. There's more drivers now than there were before the pandemic. No one's talking about this. Some of the stocks are starting to react, but it's for real, Scott. It's gigantic. And the people involved in freight are stunned at the decline in trucking rates that we've had just in the last 4 weeks.
How much of this also has to do with the inversion of the yield curve, Jim? The fact that we are now, if you want to say, on the clock with a recession. I'm looking at FedEx today, down 4.3%. I pull up UPS right now. It has a decline of nearly 4%. Joe Terranova on halftime said he had sold Old Dominion. You could go all the way down the spectrum, Jim. The truckers, the rails, et cetera, selling off big time today.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's a supply issue, meaning that the truckers are back. It finally happened. It tipped. We got equilibrium and more. And what I'm saying is there are so many companies that just matter-of-factly say, but freight, but freight, but freight. Now we separate the men and women from the boys and girls because we know that some people are going to be able to take advantage of this, and others, once again, not know how to take advantage. This is why some of the consumer packaged goods companies are rallying well. This is why Walmart's rallying. You are getting an incredible decline that nobody is talking about in spot rates that is going to make it so there's tremendous margin expansion. So, yes, we can talk about the 2s and the 10s, and I even do that. I even succumb to that tonight on Mad Money as much as I don't want to. But this is big news, and the spot rates fell this week. I mean, this week, this afternoon.
Jim, you are starting to hear some commentary about, is this as good as it gets? I'm talking PCs. I'm talking housing. I'm talking autos. What's your take?
Okay, I think that that the housing stocks have signaled that it was as good as it gets a long time ago. And after we get to 6% mortgage rates, those stocks are going to go so low that everybody's finally going to downgrade them, and then you got to buy them. I think that the semiconductors are reflecting the fact that people aren't going to buy cell phones, but they are. They're just going to buy 5G. Now, the real issue is it's the second home in the hybrid environment. That home, Scott, has everything it's ever needed. It does not need, unless you're going to have 2 washers and dryers, which I find to be unusual, unless you're going to have 2 printers and 4 computers, and want to do a TV show from your house because you don't want to come to the office, I think you probably have everything you need.
What do I do then with the Home Depots? What do I do with the Microns? What do I do with the Fords?
Micron, no. Micron is down. Just start buying Micron. I mean, did anyone even listen to my interview with Sanjay? Sanjay was saying 5G is great. Sanjay is saying they've got a lot of different things going in the high-performance computing, but Sanjay is saying that this, well, you know what? There are Ollie's. You can buy them at Ollie's, and I would toss this one if it didn't cost me a G. Now, what I really feel is happening, Scott, is that there's some areas where there's, well, I'm going to use a really fancy word, surfeit, and there's other areas where they're okay. But I do think that the whole second home, hybrid, they got everything they want. Omicron, not so bad. Maybe you want to come back to the office. Just as when everyone's given up on the office and has the second office, you're going to start getting some bosses who are like me, who demand 6 days and a tie.